So welcome, Elaina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
This is fantastic. I saw you on Facebook, a while ago playing your footy, and what really struck me about you was your passion. Like, you love your footy, don't you?
Absolutely not wrong. Yeah, passion is why I play the game and the reason why I do what I do. If passion is everything for me. Yeah,
I absolutely love it. Now, how old are you?
I'm 15, turning
15.
16 late November.
God, and if there's so many 15-year-olds, I'm not bagging 15-year-olds that don't have that passion. So, when I see someone so young, absolutely immersed in what they're doing, far out. I love that. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of the girls that I'm friends with or kind of bond with as well through footy are even a little bit older than me. So it isn't super common in 15-year-old girls, but I guess that's kind of what I like about it as well. The challenge of, being different and having to sort of not be in the stereotype, but break the stereotype, which I do like.
Yeah, I do like that too. That's awesome. Now, firstly, tell us about your karate and why you love that so much, because you did that before you started footy.
Yeah, for a very long time I did it. 8 years I think it was. So I started in prep, and I guess mum took me to first class and I just fell in love with it. It was not like other sports where it was just, tennis, you hit it around, doesn't really matter. This was a very disciplined sport. And I was sort of a quieter kid, very, tried to be as well mannered, which is what mum and dad taught me. So I just thought it just worked really well, and I just really liked the atmosphere of fighting as well, which is, it's funny coming from a girl who I was probably 8 at the time saying, yeah, I do karate, I love fighting, because it didn't sound very normal, but it was really, I really did like it. It was a very, as I said, disciplined, and you did have to have the motivation to come to training and to be very consistent with everything. And I just, I fell in love with the routine and just getting out there and, being a girl as well, even competing in the boys league as well. It kind of just, again, I love the challenge and the adrenaline of going out there and just being a girl in this boys division. I felt really, I felt like, oh, I'm the underdog here, but I liked it in a way because I felt I had no expectations. I had no, oh, you're a boy, you should beat the girl. It's kind of like, oh, I'm the girl. I am the girl. Like if I win it, if I lose, it doesn't matter. If I win, that's great,
Just and you just, I don't know what you said there back there about karate. I just went out and did my thing, but you were four-time Australian full contact champion, 5-time Victorian state champion. This is in karate, as well as a lot of other regional wins. Now, you would have only been, if you started when you were prep, you would have only been, like you said, 8 or 10 or something like that when you were winning all these championships.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12. I think it got up to 12. I think 13th year was when I sort of fell into footy, but it was, even as a young kid, it was a lot of training to get to where that was. It was a lot of discipline, and you just had to, you couldn't really argue or say anything back. Like, you had to stand there in a position still and you couldn't even like fix your uniform up or anything. You just had to stand there. And I think that's what also has helped shape me today. But it was definitely challenging, not gonna lie. It was intense, but I when you have the passion, as I said before, when you love the sport, it just comes naturally.
Yeah, well, that's very impressive to be that young and have all those championships. I was just thinking then when you said, you stand still and you can stand still, you might be able to get a job at Buckingham Palace, as a guard with an itchy face and you don't scratch it.
It was similar like that. And gradings as well, when you're trying to go for a higher belt or, a stripe on your belt or whatever, you had to really knuckle down and be disciplined in it. It was good though. It was good because it's very rewarding as well, really rewarding after training or grading. It felt good.
And you sort of moved into footy, but do you still do, I want to talk about your whole footy journey, as that's the big thing, but do you still do karate now, or do you still have an interest in it now?
I still love it. Still love it so much. I'll always have it. Always have a soft spot in my heart. And even like UFC, MMA, it's still. I'll see it on my Instagram or Facebook feed, and I'll stop and watch it and be like, wow, that's still good. I still love it. I even sometimes out in the gym, I'll just incorporate like boxing into my weekly training, or instead of just training legs or going for a run, a really great cardio way that I actually enjoy as well is putting on the gloves, and because I've got punching bags outside and gym mats and everything, so just having a bit of a spar with the boxing bag. It's really good. Yeah.
Oh, I bloody love it, and I love your energy. I absolutely love your energy. It's fabulous. Now, in 2019, you played footy in a round robin at school, and well, I'm assuming it was at school. So it seems to be, and you fell in love. You got absolutely hooked on the footy. So why? What was it?
I think I loved the toughness of it and the physicality, especially coming from karate and then going into this. It was really, a lot of the other girls were super timid, super like, bit scared, didn't want to go in for the ball. Whereas I used that to my advantage, and I used my physicality to go on the field, give someone a bump, but obviously not dirty, clean, going for the ball, just not worrying about who's coming in from the side or who's going to clean you up, going back with a flight for a mark. I just loved it. And I love that you didn't have to worry about, coming from a very disciplined sport. It was just something so different that I'd never tried. Like, you didn't have to worry. You could fix your hair, and you could, fix up your uniform. And I just love the freedom of like being able to show my physicality. And, even though there were obviously rules, following within the rules, you could still, it was almost like a judo thing as well, because there was judo at our dojo as well. And I always thought about trying it, but I never really did it. So then when tackling someone, it almost felt like, incorporating judo as well, which I really enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do judo when I was younger, and I loved it. Loved it. I think I just loved the throwing people around. But, and it's when I used to play. I played footy for Bunyip and the Bunyip Bulldogs, and you know what? I used to get knocked out nearly every game, and I was like, man, I'm not doing this. This is dangerous.
Yeah. A lot of our guys with helmets, as well.
Yeah. Well, because I was so little, they just used to bloody charge through me. Even though I was a tough nugget, they still bloody got me. But that's still. Yeah. So when you first started playing, you were playing in a mixed team, and before you talked about the boys. Well, there's no expectations on you as a girl, but what sort of challenges did you face, like playing with the boys?
Yeah, so with a mixed team, by mixed, it's predominantly boys with 6 girls on the team, and our team had the most girls in the whole league. Other teams, I think there was only 2 other teams that had 1 or 2 girls. The rest were just, completely boys. So it was, in a boys league, there were a lot of challenges, 100%. Even just, sexism as well. It was, you wouldn't think in an under 14s league, the boys even know what, how to be sexist, but they did. I remember being on the field one time lining up. I think I was playing backline or whatever, and one of the boys goes, "Oh, go fix your hair, go look in the mirror or something." And it was just go do your makeup. It was just like, it was so unnecessary, I felt. And it was, and even like some of the boys were scared to tackle me because they didn't want to hurt me, whereas I had no mercy. Then I was like, "You're a boy, I'm going, I'm getting you down, boy or girl," but definitely a few comments were made, which kind of sucked, but that's it. Built character. I have to get over it.
Yeah, builds character. I think there's a point, isn't there, when they're saying, do your makeup, that, because it is sexist and it is bloody awful, but it's not quite that whole other league, where it's completely sexually degrading, and like the shit they did, people did with Taylor Harris and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not forgiving it. I'm not saying it's okay, but and you wonder where they learn it from. I mean, I've probably got some good ideas where they learn it from, but it's how good would it be if all parents said to their boys and to their girls, this is a mixed team, and everyone's equal, and we just treat everyone with respect. That would be so good, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And it wasn't even like our own team like our teammates were great. They were amazing. It was the opposition team, making comments, firing him at us. And it was just like, Oh, well, yeah. But yeah, not nearly as bad as the Taylor Harris incident. That's shocking, but still, yeah, still shouldn't be right. And yeah, you'd hope that all parents would teach their young boys not to say that. But then again, they're young, developing teens. You can't tell them what to do, type thing.
No, that's true. That's true. Do you think that because you're a girl, when you're talking about boys on the opposition, do you think they deliberately targeted the girls to try and physically bowl you over?
I don't. It's hard to remember being on the field because all I thought about was just getting the ball and just not worrying about any. And I got told not to worry about anyone else. Don't worry about what anyone says. But or some of the boys who aren't probably as confident within themselves almost try and target the weaker opposition to to try and get him down. But I just had to put up with it, and I think it definitely has helped me shape into the person that I am today, which is
I wouldn't call you weak. I think that's a real myth, isn't it? That females are the weaker sex. I think that's a crock of shit because boy, I've seen some. I remember my sister, and this is nothing to be proud of, but I remember at the pub I used to play in a band, and we were at the one of the Druin pubs, and my sister was there, my younger sister. She reminds me of you. You remind me a lot of her, and I was packing up my gear and taking it out to the car as we did just always. Mm-hmm. And this guy, and he didn't say it to me, but he said something to his girlfriend and something really derogatory. And my sister, this guy was like 6 foot tall. She was 5 foot. And she said, "What did you say to her?" And he said, "None of your effing business. And if I want to say that to her, that's whatever, And I'm not going to be proud of this, but she just smacked him, punched him right in the face, and he went down. And he was just sitting there like looking at her like a little baby. Do you know what I mean? And I shouldn't be promoting that kind of behavior, but it absolutely, it really knocked his socks off to say, don't, like he was thinking that girls I could just treat like that because they're not going to do anything. And boy, by Jesus, he got a shock. And I'll tell you what, I was so glad I saw that. Listen to me, I sound like a bloody fighter, don't I? But
I know. Oh, yeah, wish I had been. Yeah, seeing that. That's impressive to get a big man down. That's got to be a pretty good hit. Not gonna lie.
She just bammed him, and it was good. I wouldn't have been promoting King hits, but she gave him a bloody wallet. But anyway, never mind. Let's get on with it. Otherwise, I'll get down this excitable path about punching people up. Well, we won't want to do that. But you went from the mixed team, and then you ended up in a girls' team, right? What did you? Was that the lure for you to get there? Was it like, yes, I want to play in an all-girls team, or was it just that opportunity presented itself and it just happened to be a girls team?
Yeah, well, the only reason that I did switch is because it was actually a high skill level. So I was turning 14 that year, and it was under 18s female team.
Oh yeah.
So there were a lot of 16, 17, 18-year-old girls. And I thought the quicker, because that's actually the pathway to go through to the AFLW draft. You go, trial and youth girls, and from there you get picked up Gippsland Power, then Vic Country, then draft, And I thought, well, the quicker that I can transition and get used to playing with the girls and, pick up skills quicker than I would with the boys, that's the pathway that I'm going to go to. And yeah, I found it. I just picked it up. It was just a whole completely different game. It was probably a little bit more scrappier. The ball was on the ground like a lot more, but it was a lot more physically. It was definitely physically challenging, but also more skillfully challenging as well. Girls would hit targets, up for a mark. You're not just getting pushed out of the side of the way, and you just, not in the contest. I had a chance to go for a contest, so I've just found that I just excelled a lot more, and I thought that I would pick it up quicker and get in the pathway quicker than I would with the boys. So that's kind of why we left. And most of the girls that I did play, like the 6 girls for the West End team, which was our boys team, also moved over with us. So we were still and to this day, I'm still friends with a lot of the girls who I did play with in the boys team. We're still playing together at this second. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So you went from under 14s, like you were an under 14s player, and you went into the under 18s. Like, did they? How did you get in there? Like, you didn't just put your hand up and say, "Oh, listen, I want to go to AFL, and the quickest way there is through here. So can you just put me in your team?" Like, you must have been an outstanding player.
Well, not when I first finished the under 14 season. I kind of thought about where I'm going to play next year, which was obviously the year after. And I thought about, and we knew the coach for the girls team, and I had a talk to him, and he said he was in and ahhing, but I kind of after I found out that he might, I had a chance to play, I just switched on for that preseason. I said, right, this is going to be my goal. I'm going to make this team. I'm going to play. So I really, switched it on that preseason, and just hammered the training, did a lot of skills work with Dad, fixing, kicking technique, out kicking the footy on the road with Dad a lot, running, fitness. Even getting into the gym, I was, trying to put on get some muscle. So I wasn't, so I was ready to play with the under 18s. And by the time that season come around, it was almost as like I was ready for it. So he said, I did a few trainings, and he said, yeah, I reckon, and they weren't overloaded with numbers as well, coming from a sort of a quieter regional town. It was, there were spots open, and he said, yeah, you're good to play. So I did the preseason with the youth girls, and then just, kind of just played my first game and loved it.
How amazing. Do you I have a question for you. Do you that years ago, you never used to be able to play. Girls couldn't get past under 16s or something like that, or under 14s. I'm not sure what it was. And because the whole league, like the whole footy association, wouldn't let girls play. Do you know now why you're able to play? Like, do you know what actually transpired in the past so that girls can now play AFL and all that sort of stuff? It's okay if you don't, because I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was just a population thing. They just didn't have enough girls wanting to play, or if they just pulled the pin, they didn't have maybe the funding, the money for it. That's my assumption. That's what I always kind of thought, but no, not 100% sure.
Well, I can tell you why you're playing football, and I absolutely love this story. A very good friend of mine, Penny Cooler-Reid, she who not last year or the year before, I think she was the Collingwood AFLW Premiership coach. So you might remember Collingwood AFLW won the Premiership, a couple of years ago, and she's a coach. Her and two other girls, when they were 15, they were told they can't play footy anymore because they're 15, and they took it to the courts. They fought in the courts to have females still be able to play, and it's because of them, and particularly Penny, that you are playing footy now. So you need to connect with her on the socials, and you need to say Karen sent you, because she would love you. She would love your passion. So let's get you two connected, all right? Because
absolutely, yeah.
You're playing because she at 15, your age, put herself through the court system and just about blew her mind, trying to do that. She had so much courage. So I want to connect you two up, and I reckon if it wasn't for her, this wouldn't be happening. So I absolutely love this stuff, and why the hell shouldn't girls play football? Why shouldn't they?
Exactly. Yep.
I remember when I was young, and I'm 59, so it's been a lot of time flow from since when I was young. But it was just complete no. And it was just, my dad used to play for Warragul and Richmond, and and we would get on the ground as kids and kick the footy, and I just loved kicking the footy. But it was never ever in our future, that we would play footy. It was just something girls did on the ground and had a bit of a kick at halftime and after the game. So, you're so lucky that things have changed.
Absolutely. Like, what an inspiring story at 15. And that is just, so inspirational at such a young age to actually make action and really just, not worry about what everyone else that their age is doing or thinking, that they're taking a stand. And I love that. Absolutely love that. And I'm absolutely so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to play and do the sport that I love the most, and have it as a profession, like a future, an actual legitimate future that I can and will, can strive to do.
Oh, you'll get there. Let's just talk about where you are right now, right? Because
Yeah.
I will talk about AFL in the future. But
Yeah.
you tried out for Gippsland Power, and eventually you got into that. So what is Gippsland Power? Why is it so important? Why did you really want to be there?
So Gippsland Power is a team where all they choose sort of they choose the best footballers in all of the Gippsland regions to put together, and represent Gippsland in the NAB League. So you're playing against Sandringham, Western Jets, Eastern Rangers, all those, Metropolitan and other country teams as well. And it's kind of where you get drafted from. So in the AFLW national draft, they'll choose however many girls they choose, and that's your performance in this NAB league is sort of the dictator whether you get to Vic country and representing Victoria in that sense. And then from there, it's kind of just the way into the pathway into the getting drafted.
I do a lot of leadership training. I talk about when you have a dream, you draw a pathway, and I say to them, draw it. It doesn't matter how it looks, draw stepping stones, and, each big milestone goes on each stepping stone, and just to show people that it is possible, that these great big dreams are not dreams that are in the future that will never happen. If you can draw that pathway, you can actually see how it can happen. And I'm listening to you, and you've already drawn that pathway. You've already established what those stepping stones are, and you're like, I'm going for it, come hell or high water, and I'm going to achieve that.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where you literally have to have belief, or you will not, or it won't happen. You have to believe that it's possible, because the second that you don't believe it's possible, you give up on your training, you give up on the extra work. You don't want to, come to training 20 minutes early to practice. Oh, what's the need? I'm not going to make it anyway. You really have to believe. And I think that's one of my key motivators, is to believe that it's possible to happen. And I think that's what keeps it alive, is the hope that it can happen.
Yeah, that's something else I teach. Exactly what you're saying. You have to believe that it's possible. And the difference between where you are now and where you want to be is how much you believe it's possible. So get for it. And so Walt Disney said the same thing. You have to have a dream, and you have to believe it's possible, or it'll never happen. And we can all laugh at Walt Disney, but I tell you what, he bloody knew what he was talking about. But when you moved to Gippsland Power, what did you notice about the difference in the way it was played, and the difference of skill, and the difference of camaraderie, and all that sort of stuff? Because you really stepped up to a serious level then.
Yeah, definitely. It was, as you said, a lot more serious. Yeah, taken a lot more seriously, rather than the youth girls. You have legitimate training, you have strength and conditioning coach, you have forward line coach, back line coach, you have the facilities, you have gym facilities, you have kicking facilities, you have these beautiful preserved ovals just for you to train on, and goals with proper nets behind the back, and just good quality to train on, great footies as well. And your teammates are, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone wants what you want, and you can feed off each other. They have really great kick, right? I can, pair up with them next time we're kicking, and I can, learn off them. And wow, she's really good at ringing the ball. I can, talk to her and get, and not only from your coaches, but yeah, teammates as well, was really amazing. And just the communication and the bond with your team is so much stronger. Because it's a serious thing. I know for sometimes in the youth girls, it can be taken as, it's just sometimes a bit of a social thing for some of the girls, whereas these girls, they know this is serious. And you're playing with some girls who are possibly, draft prospects for this year, and you just think, wow, I'm talking to possibly the next, pick number 23 in the AFLW national draft, and it's insane. Like you are learning with these girls, and you're going along with them in their journey, and you're actually a part of their journey to the AFLW path. And you're thinking, well, these girls could be a part of mine. It's everyone's wants it, and it's amazing. It really is.
And soon other girls will be saying that about you. Here I am playing in Gippsland Power with with Elaina. Do you think that just moving up that level, your skill just automatically went up, or did you have to try a lot harder, or do you think just being surrounded by that automatically brought your skill level up?
I think both, because I initially didn't make the first cut. I think it was December. There was under 19s NAB League testing day. And I didn't make, we had a trial match after all our preseason training, and I didn't make the official cut for the under 19s NAB League squad, but I did make the under 17s. And I thought, well, I absolutely was honored to be a part of that squad, but that was the next step. I wanted to make the 19s team. And so again, I just, I had to work really, really, really hard over that preseason again, which I loved every minute of it. I loved it. Maybe not the 400 sprints, didn't love that, but everything other than that I loved it. And then when I did get there and I was ready to play, and I did, eventually make my debut into the under 19s NAB League team for Gippsland Power in, I think it was round 2 after my first futures game. Everything come together. And from then on, I just kept saying, improvement after improvement, reading the play and playing with these such high level, and especially also against such high level competitors. You have to compete to get picked next round, to get picked for the team selection next week. You have to play good. So automatically you're putting your best out there every single week. Not that people aren't already doing that, but you have no choice but to. And I think in that high pressure moment, you naturally improve as well. So I think it was a bit of both.
You're going to go a long way because you live and breathe this, like it just spews out of you like it's part of your body, but you're talking about, lifting your game and having to train, and you've got to get this and you've got to do that. And rah, 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 rah. What are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing in your life to play at this level?
You sacrifice a lot time, comfort. Training can be very painful sometimes, when you're putting through these grueling drills and you're just like, I don't think I can go on anymore, but you got to go through with it. And you sacrifice even like, social time with your friends. You want to catch up today? Oh no, sorry, I can't, I got footy, I think it was one time one of my friends asked, you want to catch up? We'll go out for dinner, get some chips. And I was like, no, I can't have that. I got footy tomorrow. I can't do it. It's sacrificing, comfort in your daily routine. And it comes with everything links into it, like nutrition, hydration, sleep, training, out, like time. Yeah, it's a lot. Definitely a lot, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it when you're doing the thing that you love.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You have to be passionate. It has to be something you love. You have to know why you're doing it. I'm thinking about a lot of 15-year-old girls, and while it's illegal, they're out getting pissed every bloody weekend. Like if we look at it in a real legal sense, sure they shouldn't be doing it, but we all know they are. You're that is a big sacrifice, because we all worry about this sense of belonging and belonging to our peers and, belonging to a group and everything else. And so, and it's a very important age to be hanging out with the crew, and that just shows me how valuable footy is to you, and I trust, I'll tell you what, if I can be a nana for a minute, stick with the bloody footy, girl, because getting pissed every Saturday night's not going to help you. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so lucky that I have such amazing friends that, appreciate me for who I am and don't pressure me into doing anything, which is amazing. And same with my family. They know the drill. They understand. They know the habits that I've got of, just training and everything. But I definitely like to look at the long view of things, the long-term effects, and not just the temporary effects of going out every weekend, drinking, seeing boys, whatever, all that stuff that they do. And what's fun in the moment or whatever. I think, is it worth it? No, absolutely not. Footy is way more meaningful to me than partying and, going out, all that.
You might only be 15, but you've got the soul of a bloody 75-year-old. You're a very old, wise soul. It's beautiful. Like, really, really, really good. Yeah. Now you've appeared on TV and radio campaigns, and you've been on the Smash FM podcast. And why you? Why are they choosing you to do this?
Yeah, good question. I think I know for the Smash FM, they kind of told me, they said, I really like the way that you hold yourself, you present yourself in footy field. You're kind of a natural leader. We like that in you. And we want you to, represent, and speak on behalf of the girls on the, and the team that I did, this was Women's AFL Academy. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to. I love it. And Mum's kind of taught me the public speaking, and I'd say I'm fairly comfortable with public speaking. So I like that. And I also enjoy it. I enjoy having an influence on young girls playing footy. That's another big dream of mine, is to hopefully inspire young girls as well to get out there and play, not just play footy, but just women empowerment in general, and girls feeling strong and, confident within themselves.
Another friend of mine's got a Holly Bailey. She's got an AFL, a girl football. Well, I don't know if it's girl sports. Anyway, a confidence leadership program. I need to show that to you as well, because you would excel in that. You definitely are a leader. There's no doubt about it. And I agree. The way you hold yourself, the way you're sure of yourself, the confidence you put out there, and the fact that there's no wishy-washy about you. It's kind of like, I'm doing this, and I want to lead others to greatness. That's leadership 101. There's no doubt in my mind that if you stay on this path, you're going to be a bloody legend. You already are, but you'll go a long, long, long way. So I love it. Now, and so why do you want to be an advocate for these girls? Why is that important? Because they could just do it on their own, couldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they can, but I think, I know from when I was, especially, and it comes back to the sexism that I received on the field. I know it was still very unpopular for girls to play footy. And I know how that felt, because you still feel, as much as you don't worry about anyone else, what they think, you still, deep down within, you still felt just a little bit out of place. Like, oh, should I still be doing this? Like, are they gonna tease me or whatever? But I think, if I was to have someone who could help me and tell, that little girl that it's okay and you can keep doing this. And, I know other girls might not have that thoughts within themselves, that it's okay, you can do this, like, have confidence within themselves. And I think if I can help someone with that, that's more than enough for me.
That's bloody marvelous. So are you saying that you didn't have a role model? You didn't have a mentor or a role model that was advocating for you?
I did. I definitely did. My dad was amazing. Everyone was amazing, but someone who I could, really look up to, that also could relate to me as well, relate with playing football and being a female in sports. No one super close to me. I think no one like really personal. But yeah, if I was to have that, is what I'd just love. Yeah. To give else.
You'll be a bloody amazing advocate. I know I'm just singing your praises, and I'm not blowing wind up your ass. I don't do that. You really are outstanding. I just think that, it's amazing. So when you're saying you want to advocate, do you think there is still stigma for girls?
Sorry, there was what?
You know how you're saying that you want to advocate? You want to be able to tell these girls, don't worry about it, just play. That means that you still think there's a lot of stigma attached to girls playing footy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, the Taylor Harris incident, and you still see, I still see on my TikTok For You page, where I'm scrolling through and I'll see just a trolling video of a girl completely missing a goal from right in front, which is an embarrassing thing. We all admit it. We've all probably done it. AFL players do it every day, but I tap on the comments, which I know I shouldn't, but I do. I'm a curious person, and I look through, and they're just like, this is disgusting. Girls shouldn't be playing footy. Why are women doing this? God, and they want a pay raise. it's terrible. And I put my phone down and I have to just breathe so I don't go on a keyboard warrior and just start typing out all these. No, they're not. They're actually really skillful, but it's I still see it, and I know that if I see it on social media, what are the things that you don't see on another football field? It is easier through the screen, but it's still like, I feel like it is still there. And I think it is getting better. It's getting there, but I think for now it still might take a little while to be completely, I know it's never probably going to be perfect, but to be at a fairly good level.
Now, as long as we're heading in the right direction and in big leaps and bounds. When you talked about, payments a minute ago, the pay gap and that, the AFL and AFLW is that the boys are still getting paid more and they're getting way more promotion. And what are your thoughts on that?
I think obviously the men have been around for a long, long time. And I think it's quite, traditional for them. They have the funding, the fans, the support. And as much as I wish with all my heart that the girls would have the same thing, I think it's just the population, the fans. Is there enough funding for the money to have the same? Because they can't, if the girls can't play the MCG, they can't get 80,000 to a game. How do you get that money that the men are also getting? Yeah. I'm not sure if it's a money thing or what it is. But I still don't think it's 100% fair, but I think what they've done is, to the AFL's credit, what they've done is amazing. I think it was 96% pay rate. It was almost double what they were getting last year. And I think that is massive step forward. Incredible, really incredible.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I didn't know they'd got that. So that's fantastic. And when you're talking about AFL, are you talking about your we were talking about you mapping it out, and your plan and all that sort of stuff, and you've really got that worked out, that your pathway. What's next? So if everything turns out how you want it to turn out, right, you're going to go, next step will be VFL or whatever, VFLW, and then AFLW. That's what you hope to do. And is it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
Who do you want to play for? Like, if you could just line up all the AFLW teams and they say, Elaina, you are pick number one, you can have anyone you want, who would you go to?
I can't lie, I would be honoured for any team, interstate, West Coast to Melbourne, to Queensland, anywhere. I'll take wherever. I have been a Pies supporter for a bit, so I don't mind the Pies. The doggies are good. Wouldn't mind staying in Victoria. I think Mum and Dad will appreciate that a little bit. Love the Saints. Love their girls there as well. D's, honestly, I'm not fussed. Yeah, North Melbourne, love them. I don't mind.
As long as you're playing.
100%. Playing is playing. Where you're at doesn't matter.
How do you feel about, is playing for Victoria on your list?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would be pretty amazing, being able to represent Victoria.
So the only thing after that is to get you to Ireland to play Gaelic football, and then after that to go over to the NFL and be a kicker.
Well, speaking of, I had the opportunity to represent Australia in Gaelic football. After I made my Vic team, they sent out an invitation to, a majority of the girls who play in the Vic team, and they just said pretty much, look, if you want to play, you've got a spot in already. But I think I had something else, and I had my Gippsland Power season, because it was the end of 2022, early 2023, which was right when the Gippsland Power season is on. And I thought, well, as much as it would have been an absolute honour to represent Australia in Gaelic football, I thought realistically, probably the pathway, if I was to play another NAB League season under my belt, it would probably benefit me more in Gaelic football. Yeah. And especially because there's probably more scouts, I'm not just worried about scouts and stuff, but more, how do I say this? You put out there more. You'll probably be more well known in the NAB League rather than Gaelic football. And it was a ridiculous amount of money to pay to go. It was in Ireland, and I think we toured France. Or a couple more countries that I can't quite remember, but would have been an amazing opportunity, but I chose the more, sort of certainty in my pathway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because you're a very clear thinker. Like you've really got this nutted out. I think it's, you're so mature, absolutely so mature. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, I've loved this. You are just bloody marvelous. Now I've got a question, because this podcast is Get Off the Bench. How do we inspire people to start taking action, do what they love? Now there's going to be some girls listen. I'm sure there will. Girls listen to this who want to play footy, but they don't know where to start. So what do you want to tell them?
Honestly, as simple as it gets, just start. Just do it. You really have to mentally block out everything, every negative thought, anything that you've overthought. Forget it. It's not and the only thing that can stop you is yourself. There's no, if other people are getting in the oh yeah, you're not gonna be good, you're not gonna do this. They don't matter. You are the only one that can call the shots. And I think if you want to do it, girl. Absolutely. You show them. You show them that it's possible, and you show them that you are confident and you are a girl and you are going to do this as well. Yeah, it doesn't matter with the boys, with the girls. You can start off by like searching. I think even Google Maps might do it, like nearest football club. Go for a drive, have a look at the training. If you are interested in the game, you speak to the coach. That's how I did. I just spoke to the coach that, and they said, yeah, come next training and put on the boots, get on your gear and just try it. If you don't like, you don't have to, but if you like it, continue with it and just do it.
Yeah. And a lot of young girls just don't have the confidence to actually do that. But if you don't do it, you're missing out on something that you could really love. And you might think you love it, and then you try it and you don't love it. But that doesn't matter, because you've tried it. At least you've given it a go. But I love what you're all about. I love your energy. I love your enthusiasm. Love your passion. And I just wish we'd see this so much more in young people, because you've got the world ahead of you. And I just love that you're going at it with all this gusto. You're bloody amazing. Now, people are going to be inspired by you. They're going to want to follow you. Where can they find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Elaina_Doma. Yeah, you follow, or if you are a young girl listening, you can send me a message. I will reply in a heartbeat. There's no shame. If you're nervous about starting the football club, or someone's giving you a bit of riffraff in your ear, or talking down to you, give me a message, and I can help you through it if you're comfortable with that. Absolutely, no shame there.
You're bloody amazing. Bloody amazing. Now I'm going to put that link to your Insta in the show notes, so people can click on it. They can find you, and I know you will be the most empowering role model to so many girls. And I can't speak highly enough of you, because you're amazing.
I appreciate that so much, and it's been amazing to be able to be on this podcast and be able to get spread the message to as many people as I can. So I really appreciate the opportunity. It's been amazing.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. Glad we got to know each other. Absolutely glad. All right.
No, thank you. Yeah, so much.
We'll have to catch up in person, and that would be absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to be watching your journey. I can't wait to see you playing for the Pies, or anybody else for that matter. But I'll remember you when I see you up there playing for them. So thank you so very much.
No, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Really am so grateful. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right. Catch you soon.
See you later.
See ya.